Hi, hello, g'day, kia ora, welcome to the studio. I am just working on something for the front cover of my journal, very last minute. I've printed off some more of the pages of one of the kits that I used in my journal, and it's in the sort of colour combination that I've got. And I wanted it because I want to pick out sort of the 2024. At least that's kind of the idea. Whether it turns out like that or not is a different story. So I've got this printed on, now this is heavyweight, I think it's 230 gram double-sided matte photo paper. And then while I'm at it, seeing as I'm getting all the inks out again, or the ink refills, I thought I'd dye some coffee paper just as well. And that'll mean I've got some that is all coordinated for if I want to use in my ephemera. And other than that, it'll just go into my stash. So I've got the same inks that I had out for colouring my printable pages, and I've got some water, so let's go. Okay, so I will dry all of these pages and then come back and we'll put some of the blue inks on top. Okay, so these pages have all dried overnight while I got a good night's sleep. And yes, I was right. According to my swatches, this colour is a bundled sage. I would not have thought I could create it, but I did. And considering I did not use that as a re-inker, I'm pretty impressed with that. Sure, there's some colour mixing theory in there somewhere, but who knows. So anyway, we've got a couple of scraps and a book page that'll come in handy. And then these are the tea and coffee dyed papers that I dyed, and these are just if I need anything for ephemera, then I know I've got them all done. I love this one, and this one's gorgeous. I know I've got them there if I want to use them. I quite like the blues on that. And then, of course, my photo paper. With somewhere in there are my numbers, which is what we're about to discover now. So I am going to cut these out. Well, actually, they're like so big, but I only want like the half that they're on. So I'm not sure, do I want to use straight scissors or texture scissors, or do I just want to tear it? Maybe we'll tear it using a tearing ruler. Hadn't thought of that till now. So I have my tearing ruler, And this is one of a set of 3 that I got from Temu. This one, if I put it on there, actually maybe if I put it on there. So this one, I don't know which is easier, is zigzags. This one is like a rolling, small hills and little hills. And then this one, 2, is what I use kind of for distressing. That one might be easier to see that way around. Don't know if you can see it or not. So they've got large distressing, small distressing. I could not find them anywhere else, so Temu it is. So let's try now. Here we go. Might as well see what it's like. I know this is one. Now I'm bringing it just inside the border because the border of the print has got a weird edge that I'm just not that happy with. And it's really quite hard to tear the photo paper. But, yep, that looks pretty cool. Nice and distressed. So now I'll continue to do that around that, and then I want those 2 and those 2. And then once that's done, we will have a look at putting together the cover image, and then the cover will be done. So we'll be back shortly. Okay, I've decided I'm going to do the same thing or same technique that I did with the numbers on the inside of the journal, like the pages, and that is I'm going to put clear embossing on them. So I've pulled out my emboss it pen, and I will show you how I did that with this in case you missed it. And that is, I'm just going to draw over the number exactly as it stands. It's just with my embossing pen. Yep, trying to make sure I stick to the number itself and don't go anywhere else. Then we put, and this is bulk clear embossing powder that I have here. Now I don't know where my little spoon is, so yeah, that will do. Make sure we've got good covering there. Upend it and tap off any excess. Okay, yep, that looks like we've got it there. Cover and heat tool. Yep, I need to make sure I use my tweezers next time because that was a little bit hot on my thumb. Okay, so there we go. Can you see how that is now shiny? So I'm going to do that with the other numbers. I'm going to carry on and do the rest, and then we'll see what we're going to do next. Okay, so I have embossed all of my pieces, which hopefully you can see there. Well, it helps if I don't cover it up. And now I'm ready to put my cover together. Now, I don't have a visual imagination. I cannot see how my finished thing is going to look in my mind. I could describe it to you in words, but I can't actually see it. So that's called aphantasia. It is a thing, and being an artist, it makes designing things a little bit more difficult. So what I find is that for me, one of the easiest ways around that is to audition pieces. So I will pull out a whole range of things. In this case, I've pulled out a heap of my little wee lace scraps, and I just try them. And then on my phone, I take pictures so that I can compare them, because I can't remember what I've just done 5 minutes ago to what I've got now, but also so that I can remember where everything goes as I put it together. So creating is therefore possible. So what I've done is I've got all my bits, I've worked out what I want to do. It only took 7 photos. So let's put everything together. So now I'm going to use some fabric for this, and so I'll be using the Crafter's Choice craft glue, which we can get here in New Zealand and I know in Australia at Spotlight. And I use this because it bonds the fabric. So it's kind of like Fabri-Tac, I'm guessing. It also is good for bonding paper to paper because it doesn't have, it's like an acetone based glue, so you don't have that bubbling when the water dries out. So let's get started. And I can hear my husband outside watering the plants, so apologies. And now there's a helicopter going overhead, and they must just know that I'm recording. That's the way it always is. So anyway, I've got this little piece of leftover gauze. It was from a journal that I created for another video series that just didn't go ahead. So, but I had some left over and I want to use it, and the colouring is so perfect. So it was white gauze, and then I just coloured it with mists, and just, it might have actually been like ink on my desk and from distress pads. I can't remember. That was like 6 months ago, 5 months ago. So anyway, we're going to put this just randomly over the top, and we'll go from there. So now I'm just going to put a couple of little wee blobs at this stage just to hold it in place. Mainly just in the middle if my glue is going to flow, because I've had it up the wrong way and I probably need to fill it up. And we're just going to put in a little wee patch there. It's not a lot, I know that, but that's all we need to hold, hopefully. And we're going to go up the other way, and I'm just going to kind of spread it out and hope that it stays out, you know. It doesn't need to be even, and then push that down. Yep, that'll like spread out as I put other stuff on there, hopefully, or stay spread out. I've also got a piece of this. Now this is, I think it's what they call Halloween cloth. So we'll put that on there as well. Again, it's just like that different texture. Alright, we'll put that about there. Okay, I'm going to put a couple of blobbles just under some key areas. Hopefully that will work, and more importantly, hopefully that means I'm not going to have too much glue blobbing out. Right, will that work? The only problem with this glue is the stringy bits. to try and put everything back how it was. So I want to, I'm quite happy with that. So I want to put this kind of down this side there. And we're going to run to pretty much the most of the length. Now a lot of these like lace scraps are they're scraps that I bought from a friend of mine. You know, she was selling off bags of lace scraps, and I've not had a lot. Some of them are vintage, some of them are not, but I thought they were quite handy to have. So the only thing is trying to work out which is the right side. So now we're going to do, here we go. This is going to be an issue, I can tell. I'm trying to keep the cap off this and not get glue everywhere. Okay, just had to pause for a minute while I found the right side of the lace. Now this is the wrong side here. So we want, and I'm going to do this probably down about here, where hopefully it won't show. And put that sideways, and then we're going to put this about there. So yeah, as I thought, that's going to show. So I'm going to have to cover that up a bit, and then we'll extend this out. We may need to just put like little blobs of glue to hold it out, but that's cool, like that. That's well and truly stuck in place. Right, now, so where's my pictures here? So we've got our, that one's going there, but I've got the 0 underneath it, so that one's going to go back there. So I'm going to have to put something up the top there. That's okay, we can do that, we have the technology. Now, so 0 is there, that's cool. We're going to put 2 there and 4 there. So I just need to get my placement right. So I need that to cover there, that glue. So I've just got to worry about that glue there. Right, so this one here, we'll take this one aside. Now I'm going to put this lace on here. So we want about that. Now this has got this has got like a self-adhesive glue on the back. I don't know what it's like, so I will add some more glue to it just to be sure. Like that. Just gives it a bit of something. Bit of zhuzh. Alright. There. Alright. I was thinking about sewing these on with a machine, but I think I'm going to hand stitch them on instead. So I've got some black embroidery thread here, and I'm just cutting a length of thread. Probably way too long, Paula. Probably way too long. So let's cut it slightly shorter than what you were going to do. Alright, we can put the rest aside in case we need it. Now I've got a big iron needle, not quite as big as the one I normally do for my stitching of my spines, but pretty close to that as well. I don't want to do a knot in the back because that will, which I'd normally do for hand stitching, but because that would I think create too much bulk behind, and it's not what I want to do. So I'm going to start with the O. Now these are threads I've pulled out from some fabric that I was cutting up and then I actually tore into bits for something, but the colour is just spot on for what, you know, for this kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is I need to find a bit. Where's a bit that suits? I don't want too much, but I just want enough. So, how's that? Is that going to sit there okay? And is that going to sit there okay? Yep, that's fine. So we've got that there. I can just kind of push that in there. Now what I'm going to do is just make a hole with my needle going through from the front, just because that's the easiest way to do it. So there, and then I can see from the back where I'm going to come up. And then I'll pull my thread through until it is almost there, just a little bit left, and then what I'm going to do is I will sellotape that in place, and that will keep it where it needs to be. And then I'm going to do I'm just thinking a cross stitch, but I may end up doing something else, doing a bit more. So it's going to be pretty big. It doesn't have to be exact. So going through there. And this is going to hold the thread in place. Now this one, I want the needle to come up. We're going to do an exact X. Yeah, why not? Doesn't matter if it's coming through the middle. So there's my hole. And we're going to push that through again. And then we're going to take this to there. So, here we go. Awesome, that looks cool. So we've got 0, 2, 2, 4. That is awesome. I love it. I love it. So now, doesn't worry me if this gets all raggedy. And comes over, like it can come over there a wee bit. Same with that. That can flop around a bit. That can lift up. We kind of get caught under there. And we got that bit just dangling around the side. Yeah, I love it. Love, love, love it. Awesome. So there we go. That is my journal cover. I'm really pleased with that. Don't need you. Now I've got a whole mess of laces to put away, but I'm good with that. So I call that done and dusted and ready for action. Now we're going to fill up the pages. Right. There we are. Journal is ready to go. I'm happy it's finished. I can't wait to fill up the pages, which is going to happen really quickly, really fast. I look forward to seeing you back in the studio when we start to fill her up. Bye for now.